Hello everyone, this is Clement from Clement Consultancy, and we have been providing sound advisors to homeowners, purchasers and investors since 2006. We've seen how HDB prices have rebounded and reaching its peak since 2013. And this educational video in episode 26 is made for HDB owners like yourself. Before we start, we need to understand why is it important to understand the HDB prices and also swapping your properties for second pot of gold. And last but not least, we'll also discuss the various solutions a HDB owner can adopt today to continue growing your wealth. So in this HDB Resale Price Index chart, we saw that the peak is actually 149.4 in year 2012 to 2013 period. Okay, subsequently, that's the highest peak since year 2000 recorded. Okay, we've seen the peak reaching 149.4. And subsequently, we see price mellow down due to cooling measures. And year 2021, we saw another peak again. And reported say that in 2021, quarter one, the flash estimate was actually 2.8% increase in the HDB Resale Price Index. And studies show that this index will continue its climb as well in quarter 2 and beyond. So that is why government came in to implement a temporary cooling measure in September 2022 to curb $1 million HDB and also to deny private properties downgraders from buying HDB in the next 15 months starting from September 2022. So as usual, I put in a couple of case studies for a clear illustration. So let's look at HDB Choa Chu Kang prices in 2012. The highest recorded was a unit transacted at Block 684A, Choa Chu Kang Crescent, a 5I or 5 improved HDB unit. 515,000. And in year 2018, prices dropped for a higher floor HDB unit in Block 687A, Choa Chu Kang Drive. That is transacted around $382,000 range. So this meant a drop of around $133,000 if the owner were to sell off in 2018 instead of selling off in 2016. So this 6 years difference in selling period saw a huge drop of $133,000. But the golden opportunity presented itself in 2021 during the pandemic period, where construction comes to a halt and supplies of HDB are inadequate to meet to the demand. As such, we saw that a 5I unit at Block 687D, Choa Chu Kang Drive, was sold at $490,000, almost reaching the $500,000 mark again. In this chart, the prices of 5I unit in Choa Chu Kang resonates with the HDB Resale Price Index presented in the earlier slides. We saw how prices dropped $133,000 in 2018 period versus the transacted selling prices in 2012 at close to $500,000 range. And the price peaked again in 2021 due to the lacklustre supply of HDB units, forcing buyers to come back to the resale market. So what will you do in 2021 if you know that your prices have reached another peak again, using reference from 2012, we have seen the highest peak since year 2000. So do you think your HDB prices will increase further, especially with government cooling measure and your HDB decaying list year after year? Or will government allow HDB prices to continue increasing again? So our government actually introduced the mortgage servicing ratio MSR in 2013 to cool down the HDB prices, and it went up too fast since 2006. Okay, so this is in 2006. So what are your options as a HDB owner? If a window of opportunity appears, don't pull down the shade. Later I'm going to explain in details. Okay, you can also view the videos in episode 14 on how to leverage on the gains to make another pot of gold. So one of the options for HDB owner is to swap your HDB for an executive condominium. So let's do a simulation for the HDB owner who has sold his Choa Chu Kang HDB in year 2012 and buying a Rainforest EC which is also in Choa Chu Kang area. The HDB owner subsequently sold his EC in 2021 after staying for 9 to 10 years and later make a second pot of gold, ranging between $190,000 to $362,000. So this move allowed this ex-HDB owner to make his second pot of gold. Another option for HDB owners is to swap your HDB for private condominium. So upon selling in 2013, this ex-HDB owner bought a private condominium in J Gateway and subsequently sold off in year 2019 after staying for 7 to 8 years period. And this profit will have ranged from $230,000 to $336,000. So this move also allowed this ex-HDB owner to make his second pot of gold. So can you imagine if you are one of the EC or private owner like the above example, you would have excess savings in your pocket which can safeguard your family in any crisis, okay, especially financial crisis. So this window of opportunity may not always present as the government had imposed another cooling measures effective 30 September 2022. So you can visit episode 19, the impact of cooling measure in September 2022. So what are the options you have? Start planning now. Number 1, need to understand what is my current property prices. You may refer to episode 1 of my YouTube channel on how to check our HDB prices. Should we upgrade to an EC or private property? Speak to us or get an in-principle assessment on your loan eligibility and your profits calculated. Number 3, if I am buying a private property under construction, where am I going to stay? So let us have a discussion on your temporary housing options and various options to house your family while waiting for the private property to complete its construction. Number 4, will I have enough spare funds after the purchase? So as usual, we advocate the importance of having reserve funds for every upgrade, and we will advise you the right use of your CPF and cash profits for your upgrade, so that you are guided on the proper use of both your CPF and cash. Number 5, how is my safety net and how to create my reserve funds? So as mentioned, a detailed discussion is necessary for us to plan your upgrade journey and to ensure reserve funds are more than sufficient for the upgrade. The right use of CPF and cash will also be discussed as well. And of course, many more will be discussed during the one-to-one meetup. So before I end this episode, I'd like to bring to your attention to plan ahead for your own retirement. So what is the property quantum you desire to own when you retire? It can be 500,000, 1 million, 1.5 million or more. And why is it important to know what is the magic figure to ensure you retire comfortably without having to depend on your children or to stretch your savings? And in episode 14, I actually discussed about the 3 stages of property ownership, and you may like to check out which stage of property ownership you are currently in and which stage do you desire to be in. And of course, plan a 3 to 5 year horizon to accumulate profits. Accumulating profits from every property you own. Now that you know why some of your colleagues, friends or relatives changes their properties every few years, and nobody changes their properties to lose money, right? And those who had changed properties took out their profits in cold hard cash. We often say cash is king, and these people who change their properties every few years really took out their paper profits and turned it into cash. And I hope the examples provided a clear insights and guided advisors for your next upgrade. Do share this video if you have loved ones who own a HDB, as price peaking this year may no longer be sustainable in the next few years. So please make hay while the sun still shines. Alright, so what does this phrase really mean? Okay, I googled it and it actually says to act while an opportunity exists and to take action while a situation is favorable to you. So as mentioned in my previous slides, people swap properties to convert paper profits into cash. And now it is your turn to do that now. Happy watching, and I look forward to see you in my next video soon. Bye.